How we doing, folks? Interface here, and we are back this week in iRacing for another track guide in the Super Formula Lights. And this week we are at Sebring. First things first, the run through Sunset Bend and through turn 1 is very bumpy, so do be prepared for lots of bottoming out in the fixed setup. And take into account the first 2 to 3 laps, you won't be able to take turn 1 flat as the car will just end up in the grass. But by about lap 4 or 5 you should be able to do it quite comfortably. Now to overtake in here you should be able to get a move done out of Le Mans and onto the Ulmann Straight. You are going to want a good exit because the toe will be quite good there, but other than that your best bet is going to be into hairpin, but this is going to be a little bit riskier. Speaking of hairpin, expect dive bombs there always is. And other than that, tyre wear isn't a massive issue and it should be fun racing here. So as always, I will leave the lap ID in the description down below. You can see my telemetry. This is for Garage 61, who I'm not affiliated with, but is a great little service and really useful to find them last few little temps. So if you take a look to the right, you will see my session settings I used for the lap. So if you want to pause the video, you know when to do it. So now to the fast lap, and it was a 1:51.071, which I did towards the end of my run, so the car was lighter on fuel. And without further ado, let's get on with it and show you the fast lap. So with the fast lap done, I'm going to hand you over to Editor Ian, who will be taking you through this week's track guide. So as we come out of the final corner Sunset Bend onto the start finish straight, we are starting our fast lap, and we will be starting this week's track guide for Sebring. So we will be drifting over towards the right hand side of the track, and we will be keeping an eye out for the bridge. And just after the bridge is the Advent Health Building. As this disappears off my screen, I will start turning myself in. And I'll be looking for the yellow line on the track. I'll follow this round past the apex. And then I will just let the car drift out towards the curb. We'll use a little bit of the curb, but we will not go over it. And as we come down towards turns 3, we'll be looking for the double cone. We will be hard onto the brakes, down into 3rd gear, and we'll turn the car in. Just taking late apex of 3, rounding 4, and then as the curb finishes, we'll be onto the brakes and getting the car turned in. And as the post on the right disappears off my screen, I'll start feeding the throttle back in, which will help the car rotate through 5 and give us a good exit down through Big Bend towards Hairpin. As we start approaching Hairpin, we will be on the left hand side of the track. We will be looking for the triple cones, and just as we pass the triple cones, we will be onto the brakes, drop it down into second gear and start a late apex. As the mobile sign passes the halo, I will start getting onto the throttle and straightening the car out, using the curbs to help get a nice good exit all the way up through 8, and we will continue this run all the way up through turn 9. And as we start approaching Cunningham, we will be looking for the triple bollards, and from there we will be on the brakes and we will be turning in at the single cone and dropping it down all the way through the gearbox into second gear as we take the apex, getting hard on the throttle to help rotate the car out. It'll push us wide, but then we'll just hook it back through for 11 and we'll start the approach to 12, which we will stay on the right hand side for, and we will be aiming for the cones. As we approach the 3 cones, we will get onto the brakes, drop it down into third, use the camber on the inside of the corner to help rotate us, and get all the way out, trying to avoid the 1X on the exit of 13 and Tower. And now we will start making the run up towards 14 of Bishop, which is a double, very easy left-hander, and you'll just be aiming for the curbs and just hooking it through, straighten us out, keeping it on the left as we approach the 2 cones for 15. We're going to drop it down into 4th, we're going to hug the curbs on the inside of 14, 15 we will do the same, and then we're just going to pull it off track to straighten our exit and use the exit curb of 16 for Le Mans, short shift into 4th, and then there's the long run down the Ullman Straight. And as we approach, we will be using the second set of cones. We will be turning it in here, and as the track transitions from the tarmac to the concrete slabs of Sunset, we'll take a 1 count onto the brakes and we'll rotate it in, trying to keep it close to the apexes but getting hard on the throttle, and the car will just want to pull all the way out. There is some additional bit of track on the exit of Sunset, hard on the throttle still, and there we go as we make our run to the start finish line. That is our lap, that is a 1:51.071. So there we have it folks, there's the track guide for this week, and I really do hope that it helps you out. If it does, don't forget to drop me a cheeky like and a subscribe. I do really appreciate all the support and it really does help us small creators. So other than that, thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, take it nice and easy folks, and goodbye.